2017 has been an iconic year for video games. AAA releases like Horizon Zero Dawn, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Super Mario Odyssey have put 3 exclamation points on a year with almost too many releases of amazing games. JRPG fans got titles like Nier Automata and Persona 5, meanwhile, Nintendo fans got a whole new console and a deluge of their own unique games like Splatoon 2 and Mario & Rabbids Kingdom Battle. In a year like this, it can actually become a little bit hard to keep up with a lot of the releases. I barely found time to play Wolfenstein 2, one of my favorite games of the year, because I was busy trying to survive in PUBG while also knee-deep into Life is Strange Before the Storm. This overflow of amazing entertainment is awesome, yet it makes it easy for us to miss out on some special experiences because we're often putting more focus on the ones with the most hype around them. That's why I've taken it upon myself to put together a short list of games that a lot of people might have missed in 2017. These are games that I or someone else at OKBeast feels is special but might not have gotten the love it deserved. First up, an indie game on the Switch. Developed by Sidebar Games in Australia, Gogh Story puts you in the shoes of an up-and-coming golfer who is down on his luck and is determined to make it big. What separates Gogh Story from other games is not only its retro stylization, but how it molds 2 distinct styles of game into one. Gogh Story has the storytelling and exploration of a 16-bit RPG. It also has the mechanical engagement and fun gameplay loop of a sports title. That's where the magic lies. At one moment, you're lining up the perfect putt while accounting for the wind direction and the slope of the fairway. The next, you're laughing at the hilarity of 2 NPCs getting into a rap battle. Gogh Story is fun, quirky, and given its status as a hybrid genre sports game, it's very replayable. If you missed Gogh Story this year, I highly recommend picking it up on the Nintendo Switch. I had a blast during my time with it. Despite basing itself within the limits of a neo-futuristic city, Tokyo 42 reminds me quite a bit of the assassination-driven stealth series Hitman. Those are the words of our very own Alex Van Aken regarding this stylistic PC title. That's not all Alex had to say, and so I asked him to give me his own breakdown of this game that kinda got lost in the madness of saturated releases. In Tokyo 42, players earn reputation and currency by completing kill contracts, seizing control of enemy-controlled city districts, and more. Various rifles, katanas, and grenades can then be purchased with the aforementioned currency, all of which adds to the various ways that a player can tackle stealth and combat scenarios. Pulling inspiration from games like Syndicate or GTA 1, Tokyo 42's low-poly, colorful isometric artwork enables the city's architecture to nearly pop off the screen. It's a blast inspecting every detail of the city, and Alex Van Aken's time doing so was enriched by a subtle, synth-based soundtrack. While its non-stealth combat can be frustrating at times due to the game's camera angles and isometric nature, Smack Games has created an interesting experiment within the stealth genre. Tokyo 42's audio and visuals are definitely the highlight of the experience, and Alex recommends this game to fans of Hitman, Party Hard, or even Monument Valley. When it comes to big games this year, it is very easy to get wrapped up in the AAA experiences, the Horizons and the Zeldas of the world. This is why I feel inclined to include Ninja Theory's independent AAA title, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, on this list. Never during a gaming experience have I felt as uneasy and as paranoid as I did during my playthrough of Hellblade. The game experiments with the capabilities that video games have to tell stories. By using binaural audio and clever presentation, the game puts you in the shoes of Senua, the game's protagonist who suffers from psychosis. You hear voices in Senua's head just as she does, and the audio techniques used to portray this are effective in simulating that experience. Hellblade also tells a touching story of Senua's trials and tribulations as she makes an impossible journey. The gameplay is a clever cross between a walking simulator, environmental puzzle game, and a character action game. As chaotic as it sounds for these different gameplay styles to work in tandem, Hellblade pulls it off and uses these playstyles to benefit the storytelling. Above all, Hellblade is intense, psychological, meaningful, and is an experience that I'm glad that I had this year. Night in the Woods is a small indie hit that OKBeast's very own Moises Tavares played and loved. That being the case, I asked him about the game. This is what he had to say. Night in the Woods isn't so much a game full of solutions, but compromises. You play as a recent college dropout, Mae Borowski, who decides to return home for a sense of normalcy. The thing is, she comes home to find that her small town of Possum Springs is dying and her friends have moved on with their lives. Nonetheless, they embark on a journey to recapture the feeling of their youths while coming to terms with the inevitability of change. You spend the game running around town, familiarizing yourself with the locals, discovering secret hideaways, and hanging out with your friends, all while trying to figure out what exactly is going on in the woods. Despite its art style, which paints all the characters as adorable anthropomorphic animals, what you'll find is a game about deeply wounded people in a deeply wounded town. A town that is clinging on to anything and everything to survive, even just one more day. They've been through the ringer with people disappearing, being bled to death by the allure of the big city. A band-aid won't help stop the bleeding. They know the end is coming and have resigned to their fate, turn to God, the stars, or each other in order to get through. It's a deeply heavy tale with enough humor and brilliant characters to pull it all off spectacularly, and it's a game that no one should sleep on this year. DokiDoki Literature Club is not the type of game that I would have expected to have played and fall in love with, but here we are. At first glance, it's a visual novel anime dating simulator. At second glance, that's still a pretty accurate description. I jumped into this game thinking that surely I'd play it for 30 minutes and all of a sudden a veil would be removed and it would be a different game entirely. Yet, 3 hours in, I was still talking to these characters and learning things about their personalities and genuinely enjoying the dialogue being put forth. There are some turns in DokiDoki Literature Club, and those turns are what have made this game a low-key viral sensation. However, Literature Club is more than the moments that catch you off guard. Literature Club is about the characters. It's about relationship and friendship. As a player, the more you connect with the girls in the game, the better the payoff is. It's a clever take on this genre and one I'm not going to forget anytime soon. I can only compare it to Undertale in its ambition and clever writing, except unlike Undertale, instead of the feeling of warmth and hope you gained from that game, DokiDoki Literature Club leaves you with a different type of feeling entirely. This game is a special experience that is unique from everything else I've played this year. It's also free on Steam, and so if you have the time, I'd recommend checking it out. That's it for the list. If you feel like I missed a game, definitely let me know in the comments. We usually have a new video essay up each Friday, however, OKBeast is taking a holiday break for the next few weeks. Catch us in the new year for more videos. You can still catch us on the OKBeast podcast and OKBeast.com for all that sweet Game of the Year content. My name is Blessing. You can find me on Twitter at Blessing Jr. and you can find OKBeast on Twitter at OKBeastNow. Thank you to these people listed for donating over $50 to our Extra Life charity event.